Man, I've reviewed so many video game manga. It's really cool. But if only there was like a manga that combined all the video games together. Like one about the console wars. Like, I don't... What the heck are these? World War Blue? What is this? What's up guys, Penguin CJP here, and today we are doing a different kind of manga review, kinda, sorta. So today we are going to be reviewing part 1, at least considered by the manga, of World War Blue, which part 1 is volumes 1 and 2. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing this, besides reviewing World War Blue, because I just read it recently, just started reading it recently, and I really like it, so I gotta tell it to you guys. But I'm doing volume 1 and 2 because in the manga, apparently they consider these two volumes part 1, so I thought, you know, since they're all they're the two parts of part 1, I might as well just review them both. So I'm not going to read the back. Here, I'll show you guys the backs. But I'm not going to read them this time. I'll just summarize the story, because, you know, I got 2 volumes today. World War Blue, what is it? It is a manga adaptation of the console wars. Unofficially, of course. But, you can tell very easily. The art on the cover in the back looks like a Sega Genesis game. And the text for the author and the artist are in Sega text, I guess you'd call it. So, World War Blue follows this guy right here. His name is Gear, and he has the power of super speed. I wonder who he's supposed to be. And he is part of the Kingdom of Segua, who has been in a war with the Kingdom of Ninteldo for years in the land of Konsum. They're really not trying to be subtle. So yeah, this right here, this guy, he is the leader of Ninteldo. His name is Marcus, and as you can see, he's got some certain similarities to another character who starts with an M. I mean, they both got M's on their heads, you know, around there. They got mustaches, they got overall straps, and they both have a green dinosaur companion, but I can't think of who that would be. I don't know. So anyway, Gear used to live in a village called Mark III, and he lived there until Ninteldo. Well, no, he still lived there. Basically, he lived there peacefully, and he met 2 friends, TL, and Nell, who I don't think she's featured anywhere. No, yes, she is. Nell is right there. That's Nell. They were best friends in Mark III. And then Mark III got destroyed by Ninteldo. And, so they had to live, they lived basically in the ruins of the town And TL, Nell and especially TL, looked up to Gear because Gear had the super speed. He was really strong, he was really fast. They both looked up to him. And, you know, after the fate that day where Nell's parents and TL's parents were killed, and Gear didn't really know what happened to his parents. He thought they died too. He took care of them, and he wanted to join the army. He wanted to join the army of Segwa to take down Ninteldo. So, you know, they're just doing their daily routine, and they see some Ninteldo soldiers who are going to where Nell is, Gear and TL do. And when Gear sees them, he kind of freezes up, you know? He's thinking, I'm not actually sure if I can beat these guys. Like, maybe I should train more. And TL is like, dude, you've been training for years. They finally show up, they're about to kill our friend, and you're just gonna sit here? And he's like, well, you know, what if I'm not good enough? What if we all die? And TL's like, that's the risk, man. You gotta do it. So then TL runs off, and Gear's like, oh crap, what the heck am I doing? So he runs after TL, and TL gets stabbed. And Gear gets really mad and kills all the Ninteldo soldiers. And TL tells Gear to keep on going forward before he finally dies. So with the death of their friend, Gear and Nell decide to go to the main city of Segwa, the capital. And they go there and they meet the leader of the army, Ramses. And Gear proves his strength, and then he's in the army. He's in the top ranks of the army, actually. And then he meets Opal, who is also in the top ranks. And then they are also joined by Tejirov, him. And they're a group, and they have to go fight Tartan. And they go over there, and Tejirov tells Gear what killers are. And killers are basically people who have powers, so like Gear, and then it's also revealed that Opal and Nell have these powers. And I guess Opal, she has the power of shooting, where she can shoot laser blasts out of her fingers. And Nell has the power of online, which basically heightens her senses so she can detect literally anything. So he also tells Gear that the way a killer powers up is by absorbing other people, but they can't just be anybody. It's gotta be somebody relatively strong, and there's also some other requirements that he's not even sure about. So they go into Tartan, and Opal has to fend off this big old fish guy named D. Fisher, and while she's doing that, the rest go into the dungeon because they're on a rescue mission to rescue General Alex. And Gear finds out that General Alex is his dad, and his dad tells him, and also Tejirov, to absorb him so that Gear can gain his power, because he's been tortured, he's been beaten, he is about to die. He's not going to make it back to Segwa. So Gear doesn't want to do that. He hates the idea of doing that. But then Alex tells him about what happened to his mom, how they were both strong soldiers, but they were both about to die, and one of them had to absorb the other because they were both killers. And Gear's mom told Alex to absorb her, so he did, and that's how he became the super strong general that he was. So then Gear understands what he has to do and absorbs his dad. And then he decides to go and destroy everyone else in the castle, which he does. So yeah, they conquered Tetrand. And then at the very end, we get a look at some of the other killers in Consume. And most of them, basically all of them, are third-party Nintendo people. So, on this cover, we have Zelig, who is a man who can conquer any riddle. Then we have Carvey, who we haven't really seen much of her. We don't see much of her. We got Crystal, and then we have Miamoot. I think that's how you say his name, Miamoot. And then that's the end of part 1. So, this series is not subtle at all when it comes to the console wars. It is not subtle, but that's what I like about it. Alright, the series is a very fun series because you can tell what events are happening. So I guess I will say what certain characters are if you couldn't already tell, which for some of them you probably can't. Like Opal, she's supposed to be Opa from Fantasy Zone. That's not clear really at all. Tezzieroth is supposed to be Tetris, which I'm not sure if you can see that, but he's got earrings of the Tetris pieces. And then Nell is supposed to represent Phantasy Star, which is why she's got online powers. Get it? It's clever! Tetrand is supposed to be Taito, like D. Fisher is supposed to be Darius, and they had Bubble Bobble in there too. Carvey is Kirby. Zelig is supposed to be Link, which I do really like Zelig in this series. You don't see him a lot in this part 1, but you do in volume 3, and I really like him. He's more psychotic than Link. He talks a lot. A lot, and he's crazy, and I just find him a really fun character. I haven't seen much of Crystal, but she's Final Fantasy. And Miamoot is Dragon Quest, which makes sense because they say he's so powerful that not even Marcus dares to, cross him, which is because in Japan, Dragon Quest is even more popular than Mario. They have holidays based off of Dragon Quest. That's how big Dragon Quest is. But overall, story, I like it. Story's great. For me, because if you try to read World War Blue without any idea of the console wars, no knowledge of it. I mean, they do explain in the books. They do have sections after each chapter that explain a game company or a game character or a game series, which, they don't outright say this is who this is, but they also kind of do. But if you don't care about video games, this series isn't gonna do much for you. It's kind of predictable. You know, the author even said Gear is supposed to be your stereotypical shonen protagonist, which he is. I mean, he's a lot more like Sonic, which I like, but he's still your typical shonen protagonist. But yeah, if you love video games, you like the console wars, you think this manga sounds great, please, by all means, go read it. There's 8 volumes that have come out in English. I really like it. It's good. Part 1, decent start. Show you the art. The art's alright. You know what? The art's alright. I love the character designs. For the most part, you can tell who is supposed to be who. You know, Nell looks a lot like the purple-haired girl from Phantasy Star 2, I think. Opal doesn't look like Opa at all, but you know, her little armor thing, shoulder plate, kind of looks like his visor, I guess. And she's got little wings on her head. Don't know if you can actually see them on here, but she's got little wings. But yeah, overall, I really like this series. Is it perfect? No, it's not. One complaint that lots of people have is that it can have unnecessary fan service. Which, yeah, I can see that. It's not super frequent, but yeah, sometimes it can just show up out of nowhere for no reason. But, you know, I like it. It's a great series if you like video games. If you don't, this ain't gonna do much for you. But anyway, guys, this has been a long review. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is Penguin CJP signing out.